Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel, jicolourist. My name is Jody and we are deep into our project of coloring the Festive Coloring book. It is a 24-day Advent window coloring book. We are coloring week 11 right now, and that is the Poodle Parlor, and it has a little cute dog biscuit here, or dog bone, with the number 11. So this is the page we are going to tackle today. Going to quickly show you what the page looks like. There are a lot of windows. They all seem to have this what I automatically think of as like a sunshine window or a stained glass type window. So that's what I'm going to start with. Then we've got a lot of dogs sitting in the windows. We've got up top, I'll zoom you down a bit. We have some items showing in behind the window. So I think I'll have to color these before doing the glaze effect that I'm planning on doing. But I'm going to do quickly all of the windows so that I have the colors down that I'm going to be using. I'm going to use there are 5 sections on here. So I'm going to use 5 different glaze pens. I'm going to put them in order. So I'm going to use blue, pink, yellow, green, and then purple. So I'm going to do that. Then I will come back and we will work on other parts of the page together. And I just thought I'd bring you in to quickly show you what the page looks like naked, and then I will be back once I have that done. On this side of the page, we have the dog parlor in full. Looks like there's a bit of a store down at the bottom part, and the parlor is up top, and it's in full motion. Thank goodness we are not coloring this page today, because this has plenty on it to color and tackle already. So let me get going and I'll be back in a bit. Just thought I'd brought you in to show you how I am completing one of these stained glass windows. These are the Sakura glaze pens, and you get them going off your page is best. Once they are flowing, just keep going and stay connected, kind of like how I would do almost the glossy accents. You go over the page once. If you keep going over it as the glaze dries, it kind of gums up, and then it doesn't look so great. So best to put it on juicy and wet, and then leave it to dry. And it will be transparent, so if there is something behind, it will do that. All right, I'm going to let that dry, and I'll be right back. Okay, here we are with all 5 windows done. Now the last window that I envisioned also matching is this big one up here. So I will just bring you down a bit. Now it has things behind. I'm envisioning that these are actually on like a window ledge inside the window, because it doesn't make sense to have something on the outside of the window. So since I want to put the glaze right over top of this, you would not see, like if I made this metallic, you wouldn't see the metallic or anything. So what I think I'm going to do is use 2 different colors of cool gray. I have a Staedtler pigment brush pen in cool gray light and then cool gray medium. And I thought that I would do each of these in those colors, so that when I go over top of it, say with blue, it's just going to, the gray will show through, but it won't be super obvious. So let me scan you down a little bit, or zoom you down. So the darker parts, like the base, I'm going to use the medium color, and I'm using the pigment brush or pigment ink, because I know that once it dries it'll be permanent and I won't have to worry about it bleeding once I put the glaze over top. So I'll quickly color these in, and then we will cover them with glaze. I'm going to wait for them to dry, so I'll put the glaze on the center areas first. And this, I envision, is also behind, so I'm going to do that as well, but I might do that in a red color because I am going to color it over top with yellow. So I'm thinking you would see more of it than the blue and the purple, which are going to go there. That's my reasoning behind the choices that I'm making. So this is the cool gray light. This is pigment pen and it's just called red. For the ring inside, I'm going to bring in India Red 192, and it's just a bit darker of a red. I'm just going to do a little bit of shading here. Okay, I'm going to let that dry. While these three are drying, I will go ahead and do the glaze in the other two. Now this here is on top, so I'm going to I'll go ahead and color it actually first in case a little bit of glaze gets on it. It'll already be colored. So this is Permanent Green Olive 167. Hope everyone is having a great day. Hope you're grabbed your book and you're having some fun coloring along with me or in any book. Doesn't matter as long as you're having a bit of coloring time. Okay, I've now started to use the glaze pen, and I want these round baubles to be not glazed, so I'm avoiding those, and I'm also avoiding the wreath. Trying to make sure I don't put my hand in any of the ones below here that I've done. The glaze is pretty much dry, but it's not 100% like set. I like to leave it for a good few hours after I do all of these windows. I think I will move to the bottom of the page or work on another page for a while and let this dry and set. And I'll move on to this one, which will be green. Okay, these two are done. I'm going to let them dry, and I'm now going to go ahead and start on the two end ones. So I'm going to do purple first. This time I'm going to go right over top. Where these ones I was avoiding in going around the items, this time I'm going to go right over top because this is now behind the glass, whereas the other ones were in front. So this is how this is going to look. I will continue and do the blue on the far side and the yellow in the center, and I'll be right back. Okay, the glaze has been applied to all of the areas that I deemed will be stained glass windows. I'm gonna go away and let this dry so I don't accidentally smear it, and I'll be back after a while. Okay, bring you up to date with where I'm at. I have taken a Faber-Castell Gelato in the color Buttercream and applied it, my standard dry rubbing, onto the background of the building, and now I am just working on the window casings themselves. I also did the roof line of this side of the page just because I'm actually getting a little bit low on the buttercream, and I wanted to make sure that I had enough to at least transition this color over onto this page. So I've just done the roof, and I figured I can do something else for the background if I need to, but at least that part is done for next year. So what I have done is I've decided to pull out some paint pens. Those kind of seem to work really well. So let me grab the paint pens that I've pulled out so far. Okay, located the two paint pens. I have decided to pick out, I have Artex acrylic marker paint pens. These are a few years old. But they're still working, and I haven't really used them a great deal, so I'm trying to use them up before they dry up. So I have decided that I'm going to do 2 tones of blue. I'm using the lightest blue for the main casing, and then these accents I'm doing in a darker blue. Then I am going to come in with a probably a metallic gel pen and do the sides. So let me just show you what I mean. So at the bottom up there, zoom you in a bit, there's a little kind of an accent in between. So I'm going to do that in metallic, and I may do the same metallic for the crossbars on the actual window, and also one on each side of that. So kind of tie that all in together. So then what we will do together is color some of the windows and actual dogs inside. And then because they are looking out, I'm going to probably color them, and then I'm going to try using some of the Holbein acrylic ink that I have, and I'm going to use some lines with a paintbrush and see how that works. Since I don't have much luck with a white gel pen, I'm going to try that since I do have that ink already. So that's what I'm going to work on. I will bring you back as soon as I've got a few more pieces done. And I think that the colors, I chose the yellow just because it was bright and I thought it kind of matched the inside. So I'm trying to, I didn't find a color palette from the color cubes that I liked. I was looking up the word rainbow and there weren't any available. There are other palettes with other names, but when I looked up dog, it was also not what I was looking for. So I thought maybe I'll just wing it and do my own color palette based off of the 5 colors that I have selected already. Okay, let me finish off and I'll be right back. All right, here's the next phase we are doing. I have picked the Sino Uniball Broad in gold. I also have the black, and I was debating on the black or the gold. Either one I think would work, but I went for the gold and I did the door frame here. So just slide you up a little bit. You'll see what it looks like without the gold and then with the gold. So zoom you out so you can maybe see both, and you can decide which one you like best. But I think that it just kind of finishes it off, and it makes it adds to the whole stained glass look when you don't see the black lines. So that is what I'm going to do to all of these ones up here. So I'm going to use the gold, and I'm going to do this little spot here, and then like I did here, I'm going to all the lines, the black lines around that area, I'm going to outline or go over them in the gold. And on the dots on these ones here, I'll probably use stickles to make them shiny like I have on some of the other pages. But I just thought I'd bring you back and quickly show you the difference between with the gold outline and without. And yeah, let me know below if you think that the gold either adds or takes away from the stained glass effect. Okay, see you back shortly. Okay, here we are back, and this is where we're at so far. I have done quite a bit, and I just wanted to get a lot done before we tackled the windows and such. So I have done a background of yellow gelato and the Artex paint pens in the 2 different blues for the frames. I did this banner here in another gelato called Lavender, so it was pink to match the pink. that was in the stained glass windows. I used a green, permanent green olive 167 to do all of the little branches. And then to round it off, I brought some of the pink down behind the door, and I did that in this Artex kind of a bright pink. I tried to match it to this. It was a little bit darker, but that's okay. So I haven't done the paws or the poodle parlor. I'm waiting for this to dry a bit, but I did go and grab my Winsor Newton gold ink, and I used that for the big bone here, which is the number 11, and then the smaller bones that are dotted around, there's 5 bones up top. I did those also in the gold ink. And then I also did a little bit of gold ink right here for the accents. So I think I'm pretty much done. I just applied that with a small paintbrush, a small round number 2, and that worked pretty good. So I think I'm happy with how the page is turning out so far. There's a bunch of little dots. Originally I was going to do them gold, but I think I might actually do them in purple and pink just to kind of tie everything together a little bit more, because purple is really the only color that's only been used so far now in the stained glass window and nowhere else. So I think I'll do black glaze pen for the paw prints. So there's 4 paw prints, and I think that that would be okay. And then the dots, and we also have 2 little bows here, which could also either be pink or purple. So that's what is on the outside of the building. And then when we go to look at what's on the inside of the building, we have 4 dogs up here. So I'll color the dogs, obviously. And I think I'm going to do a background of a little bit like a warm gray or a cool gray, or maybe even the dark light indigo. And then I'm planning on using the acrylic ink, titanium white. I'm going to shake that up, use it in a paintbrush, and I'm going to put some strokes right over top of the dogs to mimic the lines that you would see on a window. So that's what we're going to attempt today, and that's what I'll bring you down, and we'll focus on some of the inside windows on the top shelf. Okay, we are starting on the background for this top dog here, and I am using the Pit Artist pen Cool Gray 1. And when I'm using the Pit pens in a smaller or larger area, I'm doing it in circles and trying to keep it going so that I'm not really starting and stopping anywhere. And there we go. That is number 1. Okay, those 2 are done. Now I can come in and do some more shading and stuff, but I'm more concerned about just getting the dogs done. So I'm going to pick a few colors. I'm going to use the Staedtler pigment pens and the Pitt pens to color the dogs. Then once the dogs are done and I'm going to let them dry, then I'll come in with the acrylic ink. And we're going to do this dog here first and see how it looks before I go ahead and smear ink over all of the rest of the dogs. Okay, this cute little doggy is all colored up, and I am just shaking the acrylic ink. It's titanium white. I'm going to apply it with a small flat brush. Just going to pick up dip it right in there. It's a clean brush, so and if this works, great. If not, I'm prepared to wipe it off right away with a Kleenex. And might have to just wait for it to dry before we actually see it. Okay. Okay, I'll wait for that to dry and we'll see if it makes a difference. And if it does, awesome. If not, nothing ventured, nothing gained. I'll be back when it's dry. In the meantime, I will color this little one. And it's a poodle. So when I was growing up, I had a teacup poodle and she was gray. So I'm going to do this little poodle here in light gray. And this is the cool gray light from the Staedtler pigment pens. And it's a lot darker than the cool gray number 1 from the Pitt pens. Okay, so it's been a few minutes and this has dried. I don't see much of a difference with the stripes from the ink. So I'm going to go ahead and use the Artex white, which I don't find is all that opaque either. So I'm going to go over those stripes and see how that looks. And I did it in a broad stroke so that it's quite noticeable, and we'll see how that is. Okay, so already I can see more of an effect from the Artex white than this, or than the acrylic ink. So still looking for a good use for this acrylic ink. I will keep it and try and find out. Okay, in the meantime, I will color these 2 dogs and I'll be right back. Let's color this little guy together. He looks like an adorable little puppy. Not sure what kind of dog he is, but I'm gonna color him a little bit like a panda, just because I think that would be cute. I'm sure that's not what this dog looks like, but this is a coloring book. So we're going to take some creative license. So it's the beginning of November. How's everybody doing with their coloring? Are you feeling like you've gotten quite a bit done? Or are you feeling like you have a long way left to go? We're gonna step it up a bit and do some more, but by all means, that doesn't mean that you have to. So please just continue to color at your own pace. This is supposed to be less stress, not more stress. So okay, I think I want that to be white and those other spots to be white. So let's give him a red little bow tie. We're going to leave the rest of him white. Okay, now before I do the acrylic marker on these 2, let's take a look how it's actually doing on this side. I do see it better than the ink. It is showing up. Is it wowing me? No, not really. So I guess I will do it on the top ones, but I don't think I'll do it on this main one down here. It's just not giving me the wow factor that I was kind of looking for. On the other pages, I've done different colors of ink. Like this one, I did the pink, which matched up here. So I don't think that it always needs to be a white highlight, but I will go ahead and do this one, and I'm going to do top of his. That's how those are going to look, hopefully. And I might come in with a polychromos gray pencil and just put in a bit of shadow to make these windows look a little bit more realistic, because everything is very flat right now, so let me grab that and we'll do some of that together too. Okay, I've grabbed my cold gray 2 and cold gray 3, and just going to go along the sides and darken it up and then kind of blend in, and then maybe the white will also pop a little bit more. And on the very corners I'm going to use the 3 just to kind of outline, give it a bit of a more of a definition, and then I'm going to come in, and that might just make everything stand out a bit more. And then when I get to a white spot, I'm going to skip over that because I want it to look white. Okay, so there. I think that window is looking better already. Let's do the same to this window. So 3, and then come in blending inwards, and that'll also help hide any lines from the Pitt pen if you're concerned about that. Okay, yeah, I think that helps. And I think I will zoom you out and we'll take one quick look at where we are, and I will leave you for today so that you can get on with your own coloring. And so let's do that. All right, here's where I'm going to leave you off today. Here is how it's looking. I think the glaze pen along with the gold gel pen looks good. Happy with that. Happy with the gold ink. I will come in with some black glaze and do a bit more. I'll finish off these bottom windows, but we're well on our way. Thank you so much for spending some time with me. Little bonus feature here for you. I have been continuing on with the page, and I just wanted to bring you back before I let you go, because I wasn't really happy first when I tried the acrylic ink in titanium white by Holbein, and then I tried the Artex white acrylic marker, and I did get more of what I was looking for with the marker, but I also had to put this on at least 3 coats. So this Artex acrylic marker is not opaque at all. In fact, it's quite disappointing. So I'm not sure if the newer varieties of them are better, but it says high adhesion, and I don't get that. But anyways, this is after 3 coats, and while it is doing what I wanted, I thought I do have one more item that I haven't tried before going to like full-on acrylic paint. Is I have Holbein acrylic gouache, and it's in titanium white as well. So I thought, I have a little bit of an angled paintbrush here. I would try that on this. So I have done the background or the inside of the window, and I'm just gonna squeeze a little bit on this tube, and I thought I would do that together with you. That's probably a bit much. Let me adjust the lighting. I thought if I could get this doing what I was kind of envisioning it, I would be happier. So I'm not finished the page. I still have a lot of work. There's still a bunch of dots up top to do and all of that, but I thought I would drop the camera and show you how I'm going to try and do the window effect. So before signing off and saying goodbye, I thought I would try this. So I've got the acrylic gouache by Holbein on here, and I'm just gonna, and I want some kind of some broader strokes. To go right over top of certain areas. And we'll see if that gives me kind of the more of the effect I'm going for. So I don't really want it to be a solid line per se. I want it to be a little bit wispy, so it kind of looks like there's a reflection on the window. And I still haven't decided if these baubles up here are lights or just decorations, and whether they're on the inside or the outside of the building, because on this side of the page there are baubles on the inside of the building, so they could be treated either way. But I do think that that is looking a little bit better than up here, so I may just add a few on top of these areas to enhance that a bit. We'll let that dry and see how that looks. But I just wanted to bring you back because I wasn't really happy with the results for the first two. But I do think that the acrylic gouache has gone on, at least in one coat, a little bit heavier than the 3 coats of the Artex acrylic marker. So, okay, now I will sign off and let you take a final look at how the page is now looking. Here is how we are looking so far. Still have a few more details to do. Still going to probably come in and do a little bit of shading with pencil on the blue window casings and such. But overall, I'm happy with how it's looking. Thank you so much for spending a bit of time with me. Thank you for letting me try a bunch of different mediums until I find something that kind of brings my vision to light. I think that experimenting is half the fun. I do like that it's shiny and it's fun colors. And there was no color palette with today. I just picked 5 colors up here, and then we just kind of stuck with those 5 colors throughout the page with a little bit of gold and black added in. All right, thank you so much for being here, and I will see you in our next video where we are going to be doing the garden center. And I have been thinking about this, and I had a brainwave last night while resting in bed, so look forward to how we are going to make this garden center look like glass. All right, take care, my friends. Have a creative and colorful week, and I'll see you very soon. Bye-bye.